a round of decisive discussions come to an end. What is the final decision of the United National Party? Nimal Siripala says the symbol is not important and what's important is the unity of the party. Venerable Muruttettuwe Anandathera issues warning to ministers. Former Sri Lankan ambassador to Russia Udayanga Veeratunga remanded till the 17th of this month. Principals and teachers unions protest in Colombo demanding to remove salary anomalies. Plans to resort to strict trade union action if demands are not met.
Very good evening to all our viewers and welcome to Primetime News coming to you live from our Newsfirst studios in Colombo. Let's start off with a look at the stories in detail now. Former ambassador to Russia Udayanga Veeratunga was remanded until the 17th of this month. He was arrested this morning at the Bandaranaike International Airport by the CID and was later produced at the Fort Magistrate this evening. The Airport Immigration and Immigration Office said he arrived aboard a Sri Lankan Airlines flight from Muscat at around 4:37 this morning. The former ambassador to Russia is wanted by the Sri Lankan authorities for his unlawful interference in purchasing MiG fighter aircrafts for the Sri Lankan Air Force from Ukraine. Udayanga Veeratunga was named a suspect in a case filed over the matter for embezzling millions through the deal. On multiple occasions, the Colombo Fort Magistrate issued open warrants for the immediate arrest of former Sri Lankan ambassador to Russia Udayanga Veeratunga after considering facts presented by the police financial crimes investigation regarding the controversial deal which took place between 2007 and 2009. Thereafter, he was arrested in the UAE following an Interpol warrant and was released after a considerable period in prison overseas.
Meanwhile, the case filed over the assassination of veteran journalist Lasantha Wickrematunge was postponed to the 19th of June by Mount Lavina Magistrate Mohammad Mihail, when the matter was taken up for examination today. The Criminal Investigations Department informed court today as investigations regarding the abduction of the late Wickrematunge's driver are over. The respective case file was sent to the Attorney General and further investigations are underway. 3 suspects were charged with concealing evidence and failing to conduct proper investigations and were released on bail. Second suspect in the case, Tissa Sugatapala, informed court he would not appear as he would be appearing for a separate case at another court. Today, court lifted that overseas travel ban imposed on former senior DIG Prasanna Nanakara, the third suspect in the case. Court also granted permission for a request made by Prasanna Nanakara to appear at the Criminal Investigations Department once in every 3 months.
The U.S. State Department of State has issued a travel ban on Commander of Sri Lanka Army Lieutenant General Shavendra Silva over alleged gross violations of human rights during the final phase of Sri Lanka's civil war in 2009.
According to a release issued by the State Department, quote, in cases where the Secretary of State has credible information that foreign officials have been involved in gross violation of human rights or significant corruption, those individuals and their immediate family members are ineligible for entry into the United States, end quote.
Political parties in crisis.
The United National Party has been swinging to and fro with their decisions, with the crisis inside the party worsening during the past few days. But today, discussions between the Ranil faction and Sajid faction ended at Sirikota. Will it be the swan or will it be the elephant symbol that they will contest under? Will the crisis worsen or will these two factions come to a consensus?
A group of UMP MPs met with the chairman of the National Election Commission to hold discussions on the symbol for the proposed alliance. Parliamentarians Ranjit Madhuma Bandara, Ravi Karunanayaka, Lakshman Kiriyalla and Sujeeva Senasinghe attended the discussions.
All of the issues have been resolved now. Everyone has agreed to unite and contest in the alliance under the leadership of Sajid Premadasa and a common symbol. We agreed to contest under a common symbol. We will make an announcement on what the symbol would be after discussions.
The United National Party Committee appointed to make a decision on the symbol to contest at the election met at the party headquarters before meeting the chairman of the Elections Commission. The committee comprises of Malik Samaravikrama, Mangala Samaravira, Ranjit Madhumbandara, Kabir Hashim, Navin Disanayaka, Akila Viraj Karyavasam, Lakshman Kiriyalla, Ravi Karunanayaka and John Amarathunga. Ranil Wickramasinghe and Sajid Premadasa also attended the meeting this evening.
We were able to conclude the discussion successfully. We decided to move forward united. We will let you know about how we are going to contest. The main decision was to move forward together.
සියලු දෙනාම සමගියෙන් ශක්තිමත්ව එකට යන්න තීන්දුව කරා අවසාන වශයෙන්.
ටීම් ඇතර මේ අලිය ලකුණ දීම ගැන සාකච්ඡා වුණා.
නීත්‍යානුකූලව ඒ කටයුතු අවසන් කරලා අපි මාධ්‍යට ඒ සම්බන්ධ ප්‍රකාශ කරනවා.
මහලේකම් තුනේ නීත්‍යානුකූලව ලැබුණාද?
නීත්‍යානුකූලව ලැබුණා.
එතකොට පක්ෂ සලකුණ
ඒ සම්බන්ධව ඉදිරියේදී ප්‍රකාශ කරනවා.
ඒ කියන්නේ ඉදිරි මහමැතිවරණදී නාම යෝජනා සම්බන්ධයෙන් බලය හිමි වෙන්නේ ඔබතුමාටද පක්ෂ මහලේකම් අකිල විරාජ්
අපි ඒ සම්බන්ධව
We will discuss further and make a decision. There is no problem. We will work in a manner in which everyone has power.
බලය ලැබෙන විදිහට කටයුතු කරනවා.
ඒකනේ ඉදිරියට තවත් සාකච්ඡාවක් තියෙනවද?
ආයි සාකච්ඡා නැහැ තීරණය.
No more discussions. Everything has been decided. We will make a decision nobody expected, but a decision everyone will accept. Those who wanted to divide us will be shocked.
අපි බෙදෙයි කියලා බලාගෙන හිටපු කට්ටිය දැන් උඩ යනවා. මෙතන අද වුණ
The decision that we reach today can be taken forward. We are UNPers. The alliance members will also be protected.
පෙරමුණ අය ඔක්කොම ආරක්ෂා කරලා තියෙනවා. අලියගෙන් හරි කොටියෙන් හරි ගහන්න ඕන ගෙම අපි ගහනවා. යන්නම්. අද අපිට පුළුවන් වුණා.
We were able to come to a common understanding today. Everyone at the UNP decided to reach one conclusion. The leaders of these parties will discuss on Saturday and Sunday and inform you about the future course of action by Monday or Tuesday.
බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන සෞන්ද අංගහරුවද වෙනකොට.
නායකතුමා කැමති වුණාද බලතල ඔබතුමාට ලබා දෙන්න සජිත් ප්‍රේමදාස මහතාට?
ඒවා අපි කතා කරලා ක්‍රමවේදය හදාගත්තා.
පක්ෂ නායකතුමාගේ ස්ථාවරයේ කුමක්ද සාකච්ඡා සම්බන්ධයෙන් එතුමා මොනවාගේ අදහසක්ද දැරුවේ?
එතුමායි සජිත් ප්‍රේමදාස මහත්මයා.
We held cordial discussions with Sajid Premadasa with the intention of resolving the issue. Sajid Premadasa took a flexible approach. The majority is of the stance that we must go in a new alliance to face the election.
අනේකට යන්න ඕනේ කියන මතය තමයි බහුතරයක් මේ ඉන්නේ.
Before arriving at the party headquarters, Sajid Premadasa met with MPs and organisers this morning. It was decided during the meeting that a final decision should be reached during the course of today.
සන්ධානයක් හැටියට
As an alliance, MPs were all of the stance that we must all contest the election.
හැම කෙනෙක්ම දැරුවේ.
අද මධ්‍යම
We will not attend any more discussions after 12 midnight today.
සහභාගී වන්නේ නැහැ.
Meanwhile, during a media briefing at the opposition leader's office, MP Vijit Vijayamoni Zoiza expressed the following views. The present government is making attractive pledges until the general election. This is just a brief interval. After the election, they will sign the Millennium Challenge Cooperation Compact and will transfer all the burden to the general public. The government speaks of constructing 100,000 kilometers. But where's the funding for all of that? They speak of providing 100,000 jobs. But where's the money? The government has lost 900 billion rupees of tax revenue. The present government has divided into two and there is a rift between both of these factions. Though they hide these issues now, they will come to light in the near future. Therefore, we are sure that we can win the upcoming general election. However, we must maintain unity. If we are not united, we cannot go forward.
පාර්ලිමේන්තුවේ බලය ලබා ගැනීමේ හැකියාව තියෙනවා. හැබැයි එකමුතුකමින් එකමුතු නැත්නම් ඉතින් කම්මුතු වෙනවා.
The UNP is not the only party that has been suffering with a dilemma surrounding the symbol that they will contest under for the next general election. Both the Sri Lanka Freedom Party and the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna too have a crisis brewing around the issue of the symbol. Will these two parties divide or will they unite? We voted for the flower bud. Therefore, we won't vote for any other symbol. We want the flower bud as the party symbol. Gotabaya Rajapaksa contested under the flower bud symbol and won the presidential election.
දැන්ට සාකච්ඡා කරන යනවා ලකුණ වැදගත් වෙන්නේ නැහැ වැදගත් වන්නේ සමගියයි.
ශ්‍රී ලංකා නිදහස් පක්ෂයේ එකඟතාවයක් තියෙනවද මේකට?
ඔව් අපි
Our party only takes practical decisions. Therefore, there will be no issue. Even as an alliance, we will all contest together. We will have to create a mechanism for this in the near future.
ඒකට තරඟ කිරීමේ ක්‍රමවේදය මොකක්ද කියන එක අපි ඉදිරියේදී සකස් කරගන්නවා. අපි තාම සන්දාන
We have not formed an alliance as yet, and we have not signed any agreement in this regard. They have the option of contesting separately. However, I am of the stance that no one should overestimate themselves.
යුතු නැtei කියන එක මම විශේෂයෙන් ප්‍රකාශ කරන්න ඕනේ.
අපේ බලාපොරොත්තුව ශ්‍රී ලංකාව
As the SLFP, our hope is to contest the upcoming general elections by forming an alliance with the SLPP, as we don't want to weaken the president we elected. We must support him at this point. We must strengthen unity within all levels. Our sacrifices are what will contribute to the success of President Gotabaya Rajapaksa.
ගෝඨාභය රාජපක්ෂ මැතිතුමාට එකතු කිරීම සහ වැඩි කිරීම.
ඒ වගේම ශ්‍රී ලංකා නිදහස් පක්ෂයේ පොදුජන පෙරමුණ අර්බුදය ගැන ඔබතුමා කොයි ආකාරයෙන්?
ඒ කිසි අර්බුදයක් නැහැ.
අතේ ඇඟිලි පහක් තියෙනවනේ. ඇඟිලි පහෙන්
We cannot point fingers at everyone for everything. We must ensure that everything will go smoothly and nothing will clash with each other. We must assess our current position and think practically. The SLFP too should think about this and take the right decision.
අවශ්‍ය කරන තීන්දුව ගත්තොත් ශ්‍රී ලංකා නිදහස් පක්ෂයටත් නිවැරදි විදිහට මිත්‍ර සන්දානයකට ඇතුළු වෙන්න හැකියාව ලැබෙවි.
Venerable Muruthetwe Anandathero was a prominent figure who campaigned for the current president at the presidential election. Convening a media briefing today, the Venerable Thero criticized the conduct of certain ministers.
A situation where children have to get onto the streets has arisen at some places. What has happened here is that there are no ministers, even to hold discussions regarding certain matters. Also, there are certain cronies around some ministers who are even more big-headed than the ministers. There are certain ministries that have fallen to this state. If this government does not provide solutions to the problems faced by the people, the same fate that befell the previous government will repeat itself. I would like to remind this to these ministers and the cronies surrounding the ministers. I request these ministers to listen to the people. Today they think that they have already won. But we can't say that they've won. If these ministers are acting like this with the general election around the corner, we will have to speak out against these ministers. We request these ministers to fulfill their duties without antagonizing us.
Fresh candidates planning to contest the upcoming general election have started to come forward. Oshadi Heva Maduma, an actress in profession who is preparing to contest the upcoming general election through the Viatmag organization, had organized an event in Bathramulla today. This event, that was graced by Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa, was named Breathe 2020. This program has been introduced to popularize indigenous medicinal plants. All the ladies present here are well aware of the many difficulties we have to face to climb the ladder of success and to sustain it. I too have faced many difficulties, but I did not succumb to them. I have always fought for the good. I will continue to do so even in the future. Minister Vimal Veeravangsha in Anuradhapura today announced that actor Uddika Premaratne will be contesting the general election. The Javeda Savya program organized by Uddika Premaratne took place under the auspices of Minister Veeravangsha.
Uddika Premaratne is an actor. Some claim actors should not enter the political arena. Cases like Ranjan Ramanayaka is only 1 in a million. We should not permit those who engage in illegal and antisocial activities. What is more important than education or qualification is the love for your country. We believe Uddika Premaratne is one such individual who loves the country. There are plenty of opportunities, but not enough people to explore them. We must go in search of opportunities. Nothing in life will be served to you.
Continuing in more local news, a seminar on the forensic audit reports on the central bank bond scam was held in Colombo yesterday.
It's been 5 years since the bond scam took place. but the matter is yet to be taken up in court. Have you ever come across an individual who generated an income of 4 billion rupees with a capital of 3 million rupees? Even after such a massive fraud took place, no one has taken this matter to courts. How were such investigations swept under the carpet? The evidence that I had included in my report has not been submitted to the Commission. My report still remains a secret. I will not comment on the forensic audit report. Though they have mentioned about the losses incurred, the profits they generated have not been highlighted. Not a word about Arjuna Mahendran. Not even after 5 years, my observation, the observation of the Auditor General and the observation of MP Sunil Adunetti have not been debated in Parliament. Views were also expressed with regard to the forensic audit report. Something amusing is that they don't have information until 2005. This report is not complete. This report only presents facts within the specified subject area. What sort of a report is this?
Share market එකේ මිලක් ගත්තාම ඒක share එකකට ඕක හැමදාම තියෙනවා.
මේ වාර්තාවල තිබෙන හැම දෙයක්ම It is not right to dismiss everything in this report. Another mistake is that they are of the view that a market price will remain the same. This indicates the lack of professionalism in the activities they have carried out.
The pearl of the Indian Ocean, Sri Lanka, is blessed with an unlimited and untapped supply of renewable energy resources. Unfortunately, due to the lack of proper management of these resources, the general public are forced to suffer due to intermittent power outages that disrupt their day-to-day lives.
Over the last few years, we have seen authorities urging the public to use electricity sparingly, especially when the drought period sets in during the month of March.
According to the Ministry of Power and Energy, Sri Lanka's national electricity grid is currently supported with 25% of hydropower energy, 73% of thermal energy, which includes 45% from coal, and 2% of wind and solar energy. Coal power stations have been mired in controversy, mainly due to health and environmental concerns. With Sri Lanka using just 27% of renewable energy sources, despite having a plethora of such options, the question rises as to whether such resources are being used in a fruitful manner.
When we look at the solar resources, actually we have more than 200,000 capacity in Sri Lanka. But when you look at the land availability and other matters, we can explore something like closer to the 20,000 megawatt of solar capacity in Sri Lanka. So we have something like 150 megawatt of biomass capacity. And the overall wind capacity in Sri Lanka is something estimated as 170,000 megawatt. The barrier with the renewable energy is where there will be intermittency. But there are technical solutions for the intermittency also. By incorporating those technical solutions, we can easily connect the more and more renewable energy to the network.
Sulakshana Jayawardena of the Ministry of Power and Energy expressed the following views.
CB has proposed to connect 300 megawatts for a shorter period to provide uninterrupted continuous power supply as government policy. CB has planned to extend 100 megawatt of previous year power generators for another 6 month period, and also to follow tendering process which is now already finalized to promote demand side management. We continuously requested electricity customers to minimize or prevent any unnecessary or various stages of electricity, and also to use efficient appliances, and also to draw attention on efficient usage of electricity.
Recently, the Cabinet of Ministers approved a proposal to install LNG, hydro and solar energy plants and to accelerate such ongoing construction. Meanwhile, a bright young mind from Sri Lanka has made a breakthrough discovery on how to generate renewable energy using sea waves.
Many developed countries in the world are conducting extensive research to discover such a technology, but the techniques that they discovered have not been successful. I can responsibly state that compared to the systems that I have designed, those models are at a very primary level. We have to cover a distance of 1 kilometer of the wave, but the cost to do that is very low. Through this design, the kinetic energy of the waves will be converted to renewable energy, which can generate electricity. In other countries, they use sea currents to generate electricity. They use kinetic energy to generate power, but here we will be using the entire energy stored in the wave to generate power.
Meanwhile, the Cabinet of Ministers has granted approval to procure 100 megawatt additional power capacity through competitive bidding. The 100 megawatt capacity is expected to be institutionalized in Pallekele, Hambantota, Horana, Galle, Mahiyangane and Polonnaruwa. The Cabinet has also approved the plans to send fuel invoices directly to Ceylon Electricity Board by Ceylon Petroleum Corporation and not making payments to respective companies, as these companies are reluctant to enter into the fuel supply agreement with CPC.
While understanding that the completion of such projects would require some time, the question rises as to whether the public will have to experience power cuts this year as well.
Meanwhile, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa instructed senior officials attached to the Ministry of Roads and Highways to expedite construction of the Central Expressway and the other expressways in the country.
President Gotabaya Rajapaksa instructed for Phase 1 of the Southern Expressway, which is a section from Mathura to Hambantota, to be opened as its construction is complete. The President had instructed for construction of the Kadawatha to Kurunagala via Meerigama section of the Central Expressway, as well as the Kurunagala to Dambula section and the Pothuhara to Galagedera section to be expedited. According to the President's Media Division, instructions were given to expedite construction of the 76-kilometer stretch from Ingiriya to Ratnapura, which begins from Kahathudua and included to the expressway network of the country. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa also instructed authorities to find solutions to the traffic congestion experienced every morning on Galle Road, the Kadwela High Level Road and roads in Piliyandala. The Ministry of Roads and Highways was advised to identify areas where bumper-to-bumper traffic is reported and investigate the possibility of constructing flyovers or tunnels, and to explore the possibility of constructing a road from Vanathamulla in Dematagoda to Battaramulla, which would ease congestion in Boralla and Rajagiriya. The President had drawn his attention towards extending the Marine Drive all the way to Panadura, parallel to Galle Road, as a solution to traffic congestion on Galle Road and Duplication Road.
Representatives of a number of teachers and principals trade unions staged a protest demanding for salary anomalies to be removed.
Teachers and principals trade union staged a protest opposite the Fort Railway Station today, demanding for the salary anomalies among teachers and principals that has remained unresolved for the past 23 years to be removed. The protesters also presented a number of other demands. Over 300 teachers and principals representing all districts in the country joined the protest and marched to the Presidential Secretariat. The protesters demonstrated obstructing one lane of the Galle Road, and when security forces attempted to move them to the agitation site, a tense situation arose. Later, 10 protesters were given the opportunity to meet with an additional secretary of the Presidential Secretariat. However, discussions ended inconclusively.
We were promised that discussions will be held with other parties and that we will be informed in writing on Monday. We were also told that we will be given the opportunity to hold discussions with all other interesting parties before the 20th of this month. The manifesto of President Gotabaya Rajapaksa stated that the teachers and principal services will be made a closed and inclusive service and that these issues will be solved. We want these relevant circulars to be issued. If not, 247,000 teachers and 15,000 principals serving at 10,164 schools in the country will report sick on the 26th of this month and move into our next course of action.
Meanwhile, depositors of the financial institution also staged a protest opposite the Presidential Secretariat today. The depositors demanded that the government intervene to get their money back, as the company is facing a risk of closing down.
We came to Colombo for the third time today. We didn't come here to ask for anything from this government. We came here to withdraw the money deposited by over 900,000 innocent people in this country.
Meanwhile, the Retired War Veterans Union also staged a protest opposite the Presidential Secretariat today. They were given the opportunity to hold discussions with an additional secretary. During discussions, an agreement was reached to grant them the pensions of war veterans who retired in 2016 that was previously slashed.
Speaking at the Security Council open debate on peace building and sustaining peace, transitional justice in conflict and post-conflict situations, the permanent representatives of Sri Lanka to UN Shenuka Seneviratne said Sri Lanka will continue to establish its own priorities.
Sri Lanka's engagement today is in keeping with the government's vision for a country that embodies the universal values of human rights, justice, rule of law and good governance while ensuring economic dividends to its people. As a sovereign state, Sri Lanka will continue to establish its own priorities to this end. In our experience, while certain lessons can be learned from others, it is imperative to chart our own path to reconciliation in order for it to be sustainable. Sri Lanka is therefore committed to find innovative and pragmatic solutions driven by the domestic context to protect the country's national interest, guided by the provisions of the Constitution and the will of the citizens expressed through democratic means. In this context, Sri Lanka looks forward to continue its cooperation with the international community through capacity building and technical assistance in mutually agreed areas in keeping with domestic priorities and policies.
A felicitation ceremony was held today on behalf of Defence Secretary retired Major General Kamal Gunaratne.
The felicitation ceremony was held at the Dharmapala Vidyalaya in Pannipitiya. It was organised by the Past Pupils Association of the Pannipitiya Dharmapala Vidyalaya. There is a massive responsibility and work on my shoulder, that is the April 21st attack and the 30-year war we faced. Such situations should never come up. I will not let the children face similar situations and I will not let you go through what we went through during our young age. I will do the necessary work so that you will not have to face such a situation. The responsibility given to me is to give you a chance to be important people in this society and to enforce proper laws and policies in this country.
ඔබට මේ සමාජයේ ලොකු මහත්තුරු ලොකු නෝනලා වෙන්න අවස්ථාව ලබා දීප තමයි මට පැවරිලා තියෙන වගකීම.
The Sri Lankan students who were quarantined at the Diyatalava army camp were sent home this morning.
The students were all smiles as they left to rejoin their families. The students were at the Diyatalava army camp for a quarantine period of 14 days after arriving from Wuhan, China. Spokesperson of Sri Lanka Army, Brigadier Chandan Wickramasinghe, said the students met the Army commander at the headquarters this evening. Meanwhile, the death toll in China due to the coronavirus has risen to 1,383. According to the National Health Commission, the total number of infections has jumped to 63,922. It has been 23 days since the epicenter of the virus, the Chinese city of Wuhan, has been shut down.
The 2020 State Radio Awards ceremony was held at the Elphinstone Theatre in Maradana last evening.
The award ceremony was held under the patronage of Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa. Sharada Nanayakkara of Sirasa FM won the award for the best radio trailer. Shakti FM's Arul Raj Hani Nayagara won the award for Best Sound Mixer in the Tamil Media category. Shakti FM's C. Premkant won the award for the Best Tamil Musical Program, and G. Ganadhipan won the award for the Best Drama Actor for his portrayal in Ravanan Agiya Nan. C.K. Mayuran of Shakti FM won the award for the Best Radio Drama Producer for the drama Poraligal. Moreover, 3 Lifetime Achievement Awards were also presented at the event.
Meanwhile, the market ended on red note for the 5th straight day, dipping 13 points. However, the more liquid S&P Sri Lanka 20 gained 11 points. Turnover for the day was Rs 427 million. Let's now take a look at currency movements.
Well, differently abled people are an integral part of the society. Now, for the benefit of the many thousands of differently abled people in the country, we had Brian De Cruz interpreting the English Primetime News Bulletin tonight.
While appreciating his efforts, that's a wrap of Primetime News Bulletin for tonight. I'm Sandro Ferdinando.
And I'm Arundhati Mudannaga. Thank you very much for joining us. Good night.